Hi, this is Dylan Kirkby, Ivan Parkhomenko, and in absentia, if that's a real word, our group member Brian Cowan has been ill for the last while, but he is a part of this as well. Where would you like to start, Ivan?
Well, first thing first, we have implemented particle system component, which you can see at the fire of campfire. Basically, we're creating a buffer of transform matrices for each, which holds transform matrix for each particle, and all particles are being created on CPU, and their movement is being simulated there. Each frame, basically, we are filling this buffer with appropriate data and sending it to GPU, and then instantiating it. Second thing is animation blending. I think you can say more about it, Dylan.
Yeah, it's previously I had the entire animation system running on queues, which has now been replaced with more easily accessible floating animations, or rather an array of them, that blend with each other when you stop, based on the animation system. Here you can see about 20 frames worth for most animations stopping. I suppose I should run away from this guy before he kills me. A little bit of bleed in there. Oh god. So you just calculate the ratio with a smoother step in the animation system to figure out where you are based on the time step of the second animation, or the last one added in, and then move them into each other until you're fully in the second animation, wherein you replace the primary one with that one and move on. There's a little bit of wonkiness here, since I kind of allow for multi-blending by ending the one that's currently blending early. What's another good one? There's a little bit of weirdness with the side hop there, with how the legs go, for example. Portals, I guess?
Yeah. The next thing we did were the portals. Basically, they're done by rendering the scene into a VO for each camera used by portals. Camera's positions and directions of which they're looking are calculated based on the main camera's position and direction at which it's looking, and based on portal's position. Basically, as you can see, portal is not actually flat. It took a while to do it. But yeah, basically you can see that it works like appropriate portal, basically. Next thing is dynamic reflection. You can see it in a teapot.
Let me get over there.
If you get closer to it.
I'm gonna have to... You know what, I can just do this. Shoot. Alright, once I respawn, the zombie won't be a concern then. Aside from the noise.
Oof. So, basically, if you go close enough to the teapot, you can probably see it reflecting. Yeah, the trees, portals, and other characters, it's kind of done dynamically. So yeah, that's a dynamic reflection for you. It's done by using basically 6 cameras placed at the object's position and making them look at all directions, like up, down, back, front, left, right, and then rendering all of those all of those scenes into a VO using 90 degrees field of view, and then basically using this texture as cube map, and replacing and kind of blending with an actual texture of the code. Next thing is threaded texture loading. It's done in code. Basically, we've extended a bit on it. Now, basically, it loads all of the default textures in the main loop before it starts background loop in which it loads everything else. It basically loads everything to CPU, and then in the while loop in main, each frame it checks if anything new was loaded, and if it was, it just pushes it to GPU and allows the use of it. Next thing is the console, which you have probably seen.
See me playing around with it big here. You just open it up with the grave key, type whatever commands you want. I've got some cheat codes on at the moment, so for example, if I turn hover mode back off, it'll send a command down through our command manager to our mediator, which in this case is just turning off a simple global boolean. Now I'll fall to the death plane, and because I still have God mode on, I won't die. Sorry for the noise there.
Yep.
This is a second window that's brought up over our primary one by sharing context that just displays over a transparent texture with text glyphs. It looks like my computer's dying a little bit.
Well, you're recording it and streaming it to me, so...
Yeah. I turn the music back off there. Okay.
And we also have a couple of extra technical features, which we kind of listed in case if any other features won't be qualified for this game jam. Out of extra features, we can mention instance transform component, which is basically holds a vector of transform components data in which used to create a buffer of transform matrices, and then this buffer is basically pushed to GPU and used to instantiate all the objects. It's used on all of those trees, rocks, flowers, grass, and as you can see, there are a lot of rocks. Next thing is off-screen effects. We have a lot of them, but we are only using 3 of them. Basically, off-screen effects are done in fragment shader, and they're either modifying UV coordinates or pixel color, and all of them can be set to any second pass object in our ANI file. At the moment, we're using only 3 effects, and all of them are used on the portal. It has blur effect, full screen effect for making it look like an actual portal, and overlay effect to have this kind of orange or blue ring around it. And the last extra thing is animation-based kinematic character controller. And Dylan can elaborate on it.
Yeah, basically that's just the animation system itself controls all of the physics-based motion for in-place animations. So all of these are passing the bullet kinematic controller its impulses or setting its velocity every frame. with the exception of non-in-place animations, which we only have one of, with which the physics system itself handles doing the inverse kinematic bone transforms for. But it tightly couples both systems together in practice with animated objects. I give him the old one too. Anything else we want to say?
No, I think that's it. Just, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's just go run through Portal again.
Don't fall.
Don't fall. I'll fall if I want to. Or I'll hit the portal. Yeah, I hit the portal.